YouTube is a great resource for anybody that is striving to learn something. There's an expert in every subject. Recently, as I've been trying to grow the Prison Professor's YouTube channel, I have been looking for some expert guidance on what are best practices for YouTube. And I found a guy today who interviewed an employee of Google and the YouTube section of Google who spoke about how frequently a person should upload. And this is something that my partner, Justin, has spoken about a lot because I produce a lot of content. And sometimes he would ask me, why do you produce so much content? And it was the same thing that this leader at Google was talking about. I said, what is the best practice? How much can your audience consume? Well, my audience is not people, generally speaking, as you can see by my subscribers, although I do hope that you will subscribe. As you can see by the low count of my subscribers, my audience is really not, doesn't include or is not primarily made up of people out here in society. You see, I'm creating content for a very specific group of people, and that's for people who are incarcerated, people who are in jail or are in prison. Those people don't have the abundance of information that we take for granted out here, and that's something I can identify with. See, when I was incarcerated, I really thirsted for information. I remember being inside of a prison and watching when tour groups would come by. I remember having that feeling, that sense of saying, I really wish that I could connect with those people. And I was more fortunate than many people in that I did make a lot of connections, primarily through writing unsolicited letters to people that expressed some interest in the prison system. But sometimes the system itself would bring tours through, and generally they would be, congressmen or members of the judiciary or leaders from the community that would come and tour the prison, and the administrators would be talking about, how great they were doing to teach people. But I did not find that level of support. Thankfully, things are changing inside of prisons right now, where we are able to bring more content directly into prisons. And that's really who I am providing content for. You see, if you are in a jail or a prison and you are receiving this message, I want you to know I'm producing it for you, not for the people out here. There's a lot of things that I am doing that is contrary to building a big practice out here, a big YouTube channel out here. The YouTube channels out here that are really super successful are generally talking about the sensationalistic aspects of incarceration. And there's a big thirst of information for that. In fact, you can see it just by watching the A&E network or the National Geographic channel that features shows like Locked Up or Maximum Security. Well, if there are people putting that on network television, you can be sure that there's a lot of people that don't get enough of that information. So they're looking for real life, true crime stories of people who've truly experienced prison. And there are many channels out here that are very successful. I mean, with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they've built businesses by feeding information to this population that really wants to know what goes on inside of a prison. That's not what I'm providing. What I'm providing is information on how to emerge successfully. If you're walking around a prison track and listening to this on some type of a portable device, or if you are sitting in a library in a jail or a prison someplace, or if you are in a classroom inside of a prison someplace, this content is specifically for you. It is to let you know that although there's not an abundance of information where you are, and there is an abundance of information out here, through the Prison Professor's channel, I am cultivating as much as I possibly can the type of information that would have helped me while I was going through a quarter century in prison. When I started in that journey, I always envisioned living a life like this right now, where I could work from home, where I could work as much as I want, and I've got an insane work ethic that you're going to be learning about, because if you're watching this video, it's very likely that you're going through one of the courses that I created. And the course that I am really most passionate about, the one that I'm really pushing right now, is about the CEO mindset. That's something that everybody in there has got to have, the CEO mindset, because you are the CEO of your own life. You may be living in struggle right now. You may be feeling as though life is spinning out of control and there's no hope for what's coming. I can identify with those feelings because I had them at the very start of my journey. I had those feelings until I began learning from leaders, learning from people that I call masterminds. And I am super enthusiastic right now to be collaborating with one of the biggest YouTube channels out here. In fact, I think it's the first prison YouTube channel where that profiles people who've come out of prison. His name is Big Herc. And you're gonna see, in fact, I'll splice some of the Big Herc's videos into this video to get an idea of what's coming. But we have built a collaboration because he's building a university that he's calling Fresh Out University. And I'm super enthusiastic to be one of the first course designers for Fresh Out University, where we'll be talking about the CEO mindset. What is the CEO mindset? Well, it means that you've got to recognize that as Ronald Reagan said, we all have a date with destiny. We're all going to have a rendezvous with destiny, I think was his exact words. And what he meant by that is we have something in our future that we are going to carve out. Either we are going to get there successfully with our dignity intact, or we're going to get there making excuses for what we didn't achieve. With the CEO Mindset course, we want you to define your destiny. Whether you're in prison or whether you're getting out of prison soon or you're just starting a prison system, we want you to understand what can you do to emerge successfully. And that all starts by defining it. You can't let your environment define what your future is. I couldn't let the fact that I was sentenced to 45 years define what I was going to become. Because if you think about somebody who has a 45-year sentence, you come up with a mindset about what is this person supposed to be like. And I knew when I thought about that myself, that is exactly the opposite of what I wanted. I didn't want to get out of prison and face enormous challenges and struggles in finding employment, in finding business opportunities, in finding a life that I could feel proud of. I wanted to get out with my dignity intact, and that's what I want for anybody that is going through one of our courses. Now, if you were out here, you would have so much information that you could tap into. When I got out of prison and my wife gave me an iPhone and I went to the halfway house, I remember I used to tune in to the Stanford Business School and to the Harvard Business School and just watch the professional lectures on there because I was so thirsty for information. I really wanted to get it from credible sources. Well, on YouTube, there's credible sources and there are snake oil salesmen and there are really entertaining people, and there's information for everybody. Any kind of information you want, it's available on YouTube. It's really quite an extraordinary resource. But where you are, if you're getting the Prison Professors program, what I want you to get is a mindset for success. I want you to see yourself having some influence on what's going to happen in your future. I want you to figure out what seeds can you sow today that will lead you to the best possible outcome. And I'm super enthusiastic that I have this opportunity to learn from so many people with whom I work, but also people that I can gather information just from the YouTube channel. In fact, right now, I'd just like you to listen to one of these people that gave me this information that I'm presenting too much information on YouTube. Let me pause and I'll let you listen. I'll splice his information in.
This is Matt. He's a creator, also works at YouTube, and talk with you guys about, do you really need to publish every single day and what impact will that have on your channels? Coming up. My name is Tim Schmoyer. Welcome to Video Creators. We are all about helping you grow your YouTube audience so you can spread a message that reaches people, changes their life. Matt was a creator, doing that for a long time. And YouTube's like, no, we need you at our team. And so Matt works at YouTube. What do you do over there?
I lead our official creators channel and our team YouTube channel. So I lead a team of video makers who make educational videos about how to succeed on the platform.
Cool. So that would be like the YouTube Creator Academy channel?
Yeah, it's actually called the Creators channel now, but we have the Creator Academy website where you can take courses with quizzes and things like that, and then the team YouTube channel.
One of the things that you said to me, Matt, is that just publishing once a week for you is like just fine. And I was like, once a week, but I see all these other people, like these gamers and these vloggers, even other people in my YouTube education niche who are publishing like daily, or they want to go more, they're trying to publish more and more, and I'm like, I don't feel like I can keep up with that. And one of the things that you said to me was like, Tim, I think you should just do once a week. And I said, why? You're like, well, you just need to give your videos room to breathe. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. It really pains me to see creators increase their upload frequency just because they feel like that's gonna blow up their views, and that's the key to success. You know, if they start making so many videos, it becomes a situation of diminishing returns. They're killing themselves making more and more videos, trying to go daily. They're not thinking about their audience. Do they even have time to watch all these videos? Me personally, I watch videos maybe on Sundays, once a week, I catch up with my favorite channels. And you can ask yourself, how often do you watch videos from channels that you're subscribed to? Think about that and really think about the audience out there and let that help inform your decision about how often you upload.
Well, you can see that information, though, is very specific. It's for people who have access to YouTube, that have information overload. I know that's not the case for people in jail or prison. You need information, and I am determined to produce information for you every single day. I'm going to provide information from either formerly incarcerated people that emerge successfully, who will tell you the stories and the strategies of what worked for them, or I'm going to interview business leaders who are going to talk about what you can be doing to launch your own business and your own income stream, or I'm going to be sharing stories about what strategies I used to build my own businesses. One of the ones that I'm super excited about right now is CBDTV.com. You're going to be getting this information of how I took a concept of a fast-growing business, created relationships with CEOs of pretty good-sized businesses, and together we created this business for one reason: to create more resources that we could use that will fund this creation of new content and new courses and new books that we want to give away to people in jail or in prison if the institution won't buy it, or if somebody writes us and says they want to get this information. All of it costs money, but we've created a business with hopes of providing the resources so that we don't have to charge people who can't afford it. So I do hope that you find this information relevant to your life right now. I hope it inspires you, gives you a reason to stay in a GED program, gives you a reason to stay in a self-directed learning program, gives you a reason to stay fit, because you are the CEO of your own life. And if you can define success, you can document a strategy that's going to help you get there. You can create tools, tactics, and resources that you can use to make sure that you're executing on your strategy, and you can measure your progress every day. And at Prison Professors, and in conjunction and collaboration with Fresh Out, we are going to be offering some tools that will be available to any family member who has a loved one in prison, or to anybody who is in prison. These are the tools that I learned to develop from leaders, and that really empowered me and helped me through the journey. And I'm very confident they can help you as well. So I hope that you have subscribed to Prison Professors if you are a family member of a loved one in prison, or if you're just stumbling on our channel. And I hope that you'll pass it along, this information. We've got books, we've got courses, we've got workbooks, we've got all kinds of information with one objective in mind, and that's to help people emerge successfully with their dignity intact. We know that mass incarceration, or at least I believe mass incarceration, really represents one of the greatest social injustices of our time, because of the massive amount of ancillary consequences that follow. But you know, we're of the mindset that you can't cry about those consequences. You got to do something about it, and that's what we are doing with Prison Professors, and now in collaboration also with the Fresh Out program. So big thanks to Big Herc, thanks to my partner Justin Paperny at White Collar Advice, and thanks to you for being a part of the Prison Professors community. Again, please subscribe. And if you are an aficionado of CBD, please visit us at CBDTV.com. Thank you.